Forget super yachts and private islands. Switzerland's billionaire elite have moved on to collecting something far more exclusive: private civilizations. Buried beneath innocent-looking chalets and disguised as ordinary Swiss infrastructure lies a labyrinth of ultra-luxury bunkers where the apocalypse comes with room service and titanium blast doors. The cold touch of retina scanners guards entrances to underground domains where artificial sunlight illuminates hydroponic gardens, and home theaters stand ready to entertain their owners through nuclear winter. We've slipped past security protocols that would impress NASA to bring you inside this hidden world, where the ultra-wealthy aren't just preparing for doomsday. They're ensuring it includes espresso machines and Olympic-length swimming pools. Thus, join us in today's episode of Sir Luxury Travel as we explore the most expensive insurance policy on Earth: bunkers where even the end of civilization maintains proper thread count and temperature-controlled wine storage. While you're hiking through picturesque Swiss meadows, admiring cows with bells that probably cost more than your car, you're likely standing above an invisible world of luxury that would make James Bond's Q Branch seem quaint. Switzerland's affair with underground fortifications began during World War II, when the neutral nation figured it might need a backup plan should Hitler decide neutrality was merely a suggestion. This paranoia blossomed into the National Redoubt, a vast defensive network hidden within the Alps that would later become the world's most sophisticated underground playground for people who find regular mansions too visible. By the Cold War era, when duck and cover drills were all the rage, Switzerland went several steps further with a nationwide initiative to fortify virtually everything with protective shelters, essentially telling nuclear annihilation, "Not today, thank you." In 1963, Switzerland passed legislation requiring all residents to have access to nuclear fallout shelters, a commitment to civil defense that most countries filed under "seems excessive, but you do you, Switzerland." By the 1980s, Switzerland had enough bunkers to shelter its entire population, creating an infrastructure that would later make billionaires think, that, but with a wine cellar and home theater. Today, Switzerland boasts approximately 20,000 military bunkers and over 300,000 private and public fallout shelters, meaning if you're Swiss, you've got an assigned apocalypse seat, whether you want one or not. While ordinary Swiss repurposed these Cold War relics as wine cellars or places to store their Christmas decorations, the ultra-wealthy saw something different: apocalypse insurance with room service. The wealthy's interest in these bunkers has spiked with each new global crisis, from pandemics to wars to climate disasters, turning underground survival into the ultimate luxury trend. The transformation from utilitarian survival holes to luxury bunkers reflects a wealthy person's natural aversion to downgrading their lifestyle just because civilization collapsed. After all, why survive the apocalypse if you can't do it with a swimming pool? Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg reportedly invested $100 million in a fortified Hawaiian complex, establishing underground sanctuaries as the latest must-have accessory, like private islands but with fewer hurricane risks. In the heart of the Swiss Alps, approximately 1,000 old military bunkers sit camouflaged into the landscape, with the Defense Department having sold several hundred to people who found regular vaults at Swiss banks too conventional for their tastes. About 10 former military installations now store gold and data instead of ammunition, offering unprecedented security for those seeking to protect assets from an increasingly unpredictable world where even billionaires occasionally feel nervous. Military bunkers were traditionally disguised as farmhouses and chalets, a tradition that continues with modern facilities that make hidden in plain sight an art form, looking identical to normal buildings, except for their ability to withstand nuclear war and their suspicious lack of mortgage. As you admire that charming Swiss barn on your next alpine holiday, consider this. Behind that rustic wooden door might lie a retina scanner, a titanium blast door, and an elevator descending into a world where the apocalypse comes with Egyptian cotton sheets and champagne on ice. And while you're sleeping in your quaint hotel, the real question is, what luxury lies beneath? If you thought the apocalypse meant eating canned beans in a dreary concrete box, you clearly haven't met the right class of doomsday prepper, one with an American Express black card and a flair for underground drama. The modern Billionaire bunker is to Cold War fallout shelters what the Burj Khalifa is to a garden shed. Technically the same concept, but with slightly different execution and considerably more marble bathrooms. Swiss-based Oppidum specializes in ultra-luxury fortified underground residences, including their Model D Heritage, a 5-bedroom underground palace spanning 12,000 square feet that includes a pool and home theater starting at $60 million. Because surviving Armageddon shouldn't mean sacrificing your lap pool. Their promotional materials describe these structures as optimized for super luxury everyday lifestyle while prepared for all surface threats, which is corporate speak for nuclear war-proof, but make it architectural digest worthy. The company insists these bunkers aren't just about survival, but maintaining quality of life during global catastrophes, because peace of mind apparently comes with a $40 million price tag and heated bathroom floors. One recent project featured a 300 square meter bunker built for just 3 people, complete with a hammam, swimming pool, and sauna, amenities essential for that post-nuclear winter glow. Security experts have noticed an increasing focus on entertainment features in modern bunkers, proving that even during societal collapse, wealthy clients expect to be thoroughly amused while waiting for the all-clear signal. Billionaire bunkers prioritize maintaining quality of life during crises, with hydroponic gardens ensuring fresh kale smoothies remain available even after society collapses. Priorities, people. Given Switzerland's scarcity of land, developers have brilliantly pivoted underground, recognizing that subterranean space can be sold at premium prices when packaged as luxury survival real estate. These facilities often include emergency power from diesel generators and solar panels, blast-resistant construction, and self-sustaining systems that allow wealthy occupants to ride out doomsday while binge-watching their favorite shows, assuming Netflix survives the apocalypse. As climate change intensifies, Swiss bunker designers are integrating sustainable features, because even at the end of the world, carbon footprints matter when you're paying this much. The psychological aspects of underground living get addressed through full-spectrum lighting that mimics natural sunlight and sound systems that reproduce environmental noises, because nothing soothes anxiety like fake bird song after real birds have been vaporized. For those with the means, these bunkers represent the ultimate insurance policy. Protection from global catastrophe without sacrificing the comforts of a Four Seasons hotel, just underground and radiation-proof. Some bunkers even include artificial weather systems, perfectly maintaining 72 degrees and sunny while nuclear winter rages overhead, proving that with enough money you really can buy your own climate. But for all their marble countertops and panic room home theaters, these luxury lairs would be worthless if anyone could actually find them, which brings us to Switzerland's most impressive feat of all, building an underground empire that's completely invisible to the untrained eye. Where exactly are these billionaire bunkers? That's a question even the Swiss government might not be able to answer. The most remarkable feature of Switzerland's billionaire bunkers isn't their luxury, but their invisibility. Hundreds of millions of dollars of construction that you could walk directly over without the slightest hint you're stepping on someone's underground movie theater. The industry operates on a need-to-know basis so extreme that even the builders rarely meet the actual billionaire clients, instead dealing with layers of lawyers, proxies, and aliases that make the witness protection program look transparent. The locations remain so secretive that one journalist described reaching a bunker as a quest involving highways, one-lane roads, cow pastures, and finally a concrete facade jutting from a mountainside, a journey that would exhaust James Bond before he reached the villain's lair. Access protocols would impress a NASA security consultant, with visitors subjected to biometric scans before entering a man trap, a bulletproof cylinder where you're temporarily imprisoned until someone decides you're not a threat or particularly annoying. The security systems incorporate everything from iris scans to facial recognition to fingerprint verification, creating layers of protection that ensure only the properly wealthy or their designated staff can enter these underground kingdoms. Xapo Bank stores Bitcoin worth over $100 million in a secret alpine bunker behind steel doors designed to withstand nuclear blasts, because cryptocurrency apparently requires more protection than most small nations. For digital assets, security involves splitting cryptographic keys across multiple locations, ensuring no single bunker holds complete access to the fortunes locked inside blockchain technology. The vault servers operate offline in an era when toasters have Wi-Fi, creating a fascinating paradox. The most cutting-edge digital assets protected by essentially keeping them disconnected from anything digital. Swiss bunkers increasingly incorporate electromagnetic pulse shielding because when civilization ends, your first concern should definitely be protecting your electronics from the solar flare that killed everyone else's devices. According to academic researchers, Switzerland's underground construction is so secretive that it would require almost archaeological research to determine what actually exists, suggesting Switzerland might contain more secret underground real estate than officially acknowledged surface buildings. One Swiss vault owner claims to have the world's largest private gold stash, protected by guards in bulletproof vests and a 3.5-ton metal door that opens via iris scan, features that seem reasonable when you're protecting enough gold to make a dragon jealous. The advantage for clients is that, unlike Swiss banks, Swiss gold storage firms aren't obligated to report suspicious transactions, creating a loophole so convenient it practically winks at you while adjusting its tie. Security extends to client privacy, with US depositors not required to declare gold stored outside financial institutions, making these facilities particularly attractive to people with legitimate reasons for secrecy that surely have nothing to do with tax authorities. As your tour bus drives through picturesque Swiss valleys, consider this. Beneath those innocent-looking meadows might lie billions in assets, several nervous billionaires, and security systems that would make Fort Knox look like it's protected by a "Please Don't Steal" sign. Beneath Switzerland's innocent dairy farms lies a surreal contradiction. Virtual currencies worth billions secured in physical bunkers that would survive nuclear war, proving that even imaginary money needs very real protection. Xapo's Alpine facility represents the perfect marriage of old-world security and new-world assets, with a 5-ton metal portal guarding servers storing cryptographic keys worth hundreds of millions. Essentially a medieval castle protecting computer code. Visitors must surrender their devices in Faraday bags that block all electronic signals, because apparently even your smartwatch could be plotting to steal billions in cryptocurrency. Or worse, posting about the secret location on Instagram. The facility's location remains more classified than most military installations, preventing targeting by sophisticated hackers or physical attackers, though one imagines the biggest threat is confused hikers accidentally discovering a Bond villain-worthy lair while looking for scenic viewpoints. For cryptocurrencies, security centers on protecting private keys, digital signatures controlling blockchain access, with these keys often being the only proof of ownership for assets worth more than the GDP of small nations. Servers operate in complete isolation from the internet in cold storage, a system keeping digital assets disconnected from online networks, creating the delightful irony of the world's most advanced financial technology being protected by not connecting it to anything advanced. Though seemingly paradoxical to store digital currencies in physical vaults, this approach addresses cryptocurrency's fundamental vulnerability. While blockchain transactions are secure, the keys controlling access remain vulnerable to theft, or being written on a post-it note that falls behind a billionaire's desk. Credit Suisse's underground vault offers insight into traditional banking security, located 80 feet below lake level with 3,500 safes, essentially a shopping mall for the paranoid rich. Cryptocurrency vault visitors perform brief transactions, typically verifying their digital assets remain secure rather than physically handling them, unlike traditional vault users who might spend days counting gold coins like cartoon dragons. This distinction highlights cryptocurrency's strange nature: assets that simultaneously exist everywhere on the blockchain and nowhere physically, protected by keys stored in facilities that cost more than the buildings above them. Swiss bunkers leverage the country's legendary neutrality and stability to create what many consider the ultimate digital asset haven. A place where your Bitcoin can hide from both geopolitical chaos and your own tendency to forget passwords. Swiss Vault employs energy-efficient hardware to reduce carbon footprints while maintaining security, because apparently even doomsday preppers worry about their environmental impact when spending millions on nuclear-proof safes. Emerging technologies like AI-driven threat detection and robotic maintenance drones minimize human intervention, reducing the chance of human error or the possibility of meeting another person while checking on your post-apocalyptic nest egg. These innovations signal a shift toward autonomous underground structures capable of operating with minimal oversight, perfect for billionaires who prefer their security staff to be algorithms rather than humans who might gossip about the contents. Swiss firms are expanding globally, offering prefabricated bunker kits for rapid deployment, because waiting for your custom-built apocalypse shelter is so last year when societal collapse seems increasingly trendy. Beyond mere storage, some facilities offer conservation and restoration services for artwork in grottos and spectacular panorama halls, because your Picassos deserve to survive nuclear winter in better accommodations than your distant relatives. For the ultra-wealthy, these facilities represent the ultimate contingency plan, a place where both their physical treasures and digital fortunes can safely wait out whatever catastrophe their wealth couldn't prevent, but can certainly help them avoid. As Switzerland transitions from protecting gold bars to guarding cryptographic keys, one wonders if the ancient Swiss guards ever imagined their descendants would be protecting invisible money in bunkers designed to survive the end of civilization. with complimentary espresso service. What drives billionaires to build underground luxury compounds? A fascinating cocktail of legitimate fears, status competition, and the ultimate expression of that quintessential billionaire question. Why prepare for the apocalypse in a studio apartment when you could do it in a subterranean Four Seasons? Industry experts cite common fears: societal breakdown, nuclear attack, electromagnetic pulses disrupting communications, and climate change. Essentially, the four horsemen of the apocalypse, but with better PR and investment opportunities. The Ukraine war sparked a surge in calls about shelters to Swiss civil protection offices, proving that nothing motivates bunker shopping quite like watching geopolitical stability unravel on CNN while enjoying your morning croissant. One shelter company reported inquiries skyrocketing over 2,000% in a single year, while Architectural Digest named luxury bunkers a real estate trend of 2023, presumably featured between articles on infinity pools and sustainable bamboo flooring. Some observers suggest these end-of-world bunkers aren't primarily about survival, but about creating perfectly controlled environments, technological bubbles where the wealthy can live without the risks and unpredictability of real life. This psychological dimension reveals that billionaires are essentially creating control-freak terrariums, perfectly regulated environments where even the apocalypse comes with room service and turned-down mints. Switzerland's bunker expertise has earned international recognition, setting the gold standard for designing disaster-proof luxury. Because if anyone knows how to prepare for catastrophe while maintaining excellent chocolate supplies, it's the Swiss. This expertise occasionally attracts controversial clients, as when journalists discovered Colonel Gaddafi's villa featuring a bunker with Swiss ventilation systems, proving that dictators, too, appreciate alpine engineering when planning for worst-case scenarios. Swiss companies also worked in Iraq during Saddam Hussein's rise, building underground hospitals and shelters, establishing that Swiss discretion extends to not asking too many questions about who's buying their bomb-proof bathrooms. The trend raises fascinating questions about wealth inequality in disaster preparedness. While every Swiss citizen has a legally guaranteed place in a basic shelter, billionaires construct private complexes with amenities exceeding five-star resorts. This two-tier system creates a stark division: public bunkers offering bare survival versus private facilities with vintage wine collections and home theaters, suggesting that even the apocalypse will maintain proper class distinctions. The contrasting approaches reflect broader societal tensions between collective protection and private solutions, with billionaire bunkers representing individualism's ultimate expression, complete with monogrammed hazmat suits. A Swiss news outlet reported Oppidum might have ceased operations in 2024, adding mystery to an already secretive industry where companies appear and disappear with the same discretion as their hidden doorways. The secrecy fuels speculation about whether these facilities offer practical protection or merely expensive psychological comfort. Bunkers as billionaire pacifiers for those too rich to simply hope for the best like ordinary mortals. These bunkers may never fulfill their intended purpose, becoming very expensive insurance policies that owners hope to never use, much like that gym membership you keep renewing. While underground sanctuaries represent wealth's ultimate expression, they raise a profound question. In a world of shared challenges, can anyone truly survive alone in a luxury bubble? Or will the billionaire bunker ultimately prove to be the world's most expensive tomb, albeit with excellent thread count sheets? After all, What good is being the last human enjoying your underground IMAX theater if there's no one left to envy you, or at least bring fresh popcorn when your supplies finally run out? And now we'd love to see you in the comments. If you could store just 3 personal treasures in a Swiss vault surrounded by security, what items would you protect? Thanks for joining us for another episode of Sir Luxury Travel. Cheers.